Warning! What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, dorks and dweebs, nerds of all ages, GeekPod Network Productions is proud to bring to you the most electrifying middle-aged guys in Syracuse, the Doctor, Hugh Allen, the Pod Whore, Paul Showens. Alone, they are single geek beacons in a dark cop drama world. But when the mics go hot, they are GeekPod. God, Ness! Hello and welcome to this edition of GeekPod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
And I'm Lana.
And Lana is back with us. How long has it been, Lana?
It's been a while.
How long do you think it's been? Well, maybe a convention, I think that was the last time you were on the show?
Yeah, like a Halloween convention.
Oh, well, it's good to have you back. She was home. She didn't have to work. I figured, what the hell, might as well bring her along.
So you're punishing her, is what you're telling me?
Not on purpose. Is this punishment?
Some would think so.
Lana, do you feel punished?
A little bit.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
damn.
She got to meet the dog, so...
I did.
Yeah.
They have a nice foster dog.
You're welcome. I didn't even
He had no clue. We'll get into that in a little bit, though. But Dr. Hugh, let's catch a buzz.
All right. Well, this is interesting because Paul says, hey, we have to try this. And I'm like, no. He pulls out a can of Naturdays. Now, I believe this is strawberry lemonade flavored beer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe it says so right on that can.
It's from Natural Light. This is not something I would normally even come anywhere close to. I've seen lots of people on Facebook posting that they were drinking this. Not something I would normally go for. But since Paul's got it, I figured what the heck. So I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of this.
You go right ahead, and I will explain how that ended up in my home.
It actually smells like strawberries.
As you know, at least, I'm not going to pretend like our audience actually remembers, but my birthday was the end of July.
Yeah.
And we threw a little party here for it. And good friend of mine, I think we've been referring to him as Carlton on here, showed up with a 30 rack of these things. And now this was long after me seeing these in the store and like scoffing at them and like turning my nose up at this. It's like, fucking Natty Ice is doing a fucking strawberry lemonade. Come on, how gay can you be? And yeah, I still use that phrase, sorry. And so he shows up with this 30 pack of them and one of the tall Yeti cups. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Yeti, like they're the tumbler glasses.
Thermoses or something?
Yeah, kind of. Like they're insulated. It's everybody that like actually has like liquid income at this point has one. Hence me not having one. But you know what? I have a GeekPod Tumblr, so as well as the website page. You might want to check that out too. But anyway.
Wait, you actually have a Tumblr?
We have a Tumblr page, yeah, that we don't do anything with. I got it because Al from Resurrections has one. Like, that's what he generally uses for his stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, well, you know, it's free. Why not set one up? And it does what all of our other social media does and just sit and die on the vine. But
like tomatoes.
Yes. I was going with grapes. But
yeah, they both.
Because they're kind of sour. Sour grapes.
Do you have sour grapes?
I mean, honestly, probably, because we buy all sorts of fruits and vegetables and we don't do anything with them.
Anyway.
Yes, but back to the point of our Naturdays. So he shows up with the 30 rack of them and his giant cup, and he says, seriously, you just have to try this. I'm like, come on, dude, really? And he has this like stoic look on his face, and he's just nodding at me, doing the squinty eye nod, like he knows something I don't know. And then he proceeds to open 2 cans and dump both of these cans into that Yeti glass. And that's what he did all day long. He was pounding out of his Yeti glass, drinking 2 Naturdays at a time.
Wow.
So I tried it, and it went kind of something like this. I'm going to take my sip now. I took my sip of beer, and then I just side-eyed him. And he goes, eh? And I'm like, I fucking hate you. So yeah, and then a 30 rack ended up in my house too, as well as that one. So long way around is I bought beer.
So what is your actual opinion without guttural sounds and looks?
It's pretty good. Begrudgingly so. It's pretty good. Like, I didn't want to like something by Natural Light, but it's...
That's fucking awful.
You really think it's awful?
Fucking awful, yes.
Maybe you gotta try it when it's like ice cold, hot summer day kind of thing.
Maybe. No.
It does have a different taste to it now. Maybe it's been sitting in the fridge too long.
That's just a big no. In fact, that's such a no. We have to. You need to slam that so we can move on to the other one because I have to get this taste out of my mouth.
Go ahead. Go get started. Tell us what it is.
All right. Well, it's a Great Lakes Brewing Elliot Ness Amber Lager. Now let me go ahead and read the little the text on the bottle. Admittedly, it's a bit of a paradox to name our amber lager for history's most famous agent of prohibition, but it's a smooth, malty, and dare we say, arresting paradox. This certainly seems to be more up my alley. 6.1 ABV, 27 IBU. Let's go ahead and pour this out. Okay, now this looks like a beer.
Yes, it does.
I mean, that other one, that kind of looked like...
Piss.
Yeah, piss.
Bud Light is exactly what it looks like.
And you know what?
And basically that's kind of what it tastes like, is Bud Light with a little bit of like strawberry lemonade.
I actually didn't even really get the lemonade. I just got the strawberry.
That's a good call. You're right.
Yeah, it's more
There's
strawberry.
no hints of lemonade in that at all. So you've been basically drinking strawberry beer.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't necessarily think that flavor would be bad if it was in a good beer, but it's in Natural Light.
You've tried this before. You've done it because I'm going off of the whole strawberry since we're not really getting lemonade.
Yeah, I've tried to.
You've done a strawberry beer and it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it almost blew up your basement, but it wasn't bad.
No, strawberry definitely goes well with beer, but it's got to be a good beer to begin with. And I mean, for all the this is how I look at natural ice or natural light or any of those things. It's for kids who are looking for the most bang for their buck, just to party and get drunk, or alcoholics. It's cheap. I mean, that's really how I look at it.
That's what my dad drank was the Beast. So yeah.
That's what I used to drink years ago, and it was all about partying and music and all that stuff. Yeah,
mine was Keystone.
Now I will tell you, there is something coming out I'm curious to try. It's, believe it or not, Bud Light, but it's being test marketed all over the country right now. Just not here. I don't think I haven't seen it. Bud Light Apple.
Really?
Yes, just because it's apple, based solely on the virtue of the fruit they chose, I would be willing to give that a try.
Now, is it still a beer, or is it...
I believe it's a beer, yeah.
Okay, because they weren't going to try and go into the cider game, were they?
Who knows? They'll just buy a company that's in the cider game. Because that's how things work.
Kind of like that meme that's been going around lately.
Here, I need to get that taste out of my mouth. Hold on.
It's not the first time you said that.
That's much better.
Is it? What are you getting off of it?
It's a little on the bitter side. Ambers sometimes are bitter, sometimes they're a little sweet. Not my favorite amber, but this is at least a beer.
Yeah, and not bad. Like, I expected worse when you started talking about it being a bitter...
Yeah, it's not super bitter.
No.
Although, some interesting beer news and stuff. When I was at the state fair, okay, I usually don't drink when I go to the state fair. Even though they have lots of craft beers, I try enough craft beers, throughout the rest of the year. I mean, it's family time, so don't need to worry about that. But I did go searching for something. There was a Sloop, I believe it's Sloop Brewing. They're somewhere in New York. They make something called a Juice Bomb IPA, and a Juice Bomb IPA that's actually a type of IPA now.
Interesting.
And they process the hops differently to get more flavor out of them. And the idea is you get more of a juicy flavor than the bitterness. And I'd heard about it. I'd seen it on the internet. I went and looked and saw, to see if it was going to be at the fair anywhere. Didn't see anything. So I'm like, oh, well, okay. If they had that, I'd try one, but I don't need to. We're there like 10 minutes, and I walk by the Tully's booth and look over there, and there is Juice Bomb on tap. So I tried it, and that's really good if you get the opportunity to try it out. They do
Really?
have it at Wegmans, but it's excellent.
And now, is that something that would be more up my alley? Because you know me and IPAs.
I think that you would like it more than other IPAs because it's juicier rather than
Soapier.
yeah. It's a really good beer. The other bit of beer news, which I don't really know how to feel about this, but it was announced this week that Founders has sold a 90% stake of their company. Originally, a company out of I believe it was Spain or Mexico, Spain. Had bought a 30% stake years ago, which gave them the money to expand the way they have.
I remember you telling me about this
Yeah.
at the Man Show thing. Yes.
And this week they announced that they are selling all but 10%. The two founders of Founders are keeping 5% each. And they said the reason that they did this was that a lot of people gave them a lot of money to get started, and they felt like it was about time for those people to be paid back. Okay, so they could buy out all their original, and they made sure they all agreed to it. They didn't just do it; they talked to everybody, and everybody agreed. The other thing they said is this is going to allow them to expand even further. I guess they're saying nothing's changing. No, in fact, they're going to add jobs. No one's going to lose jobs. But this is going to. They feel like they've failed in a marketing perspective because they're producing some of, people's favorite beers, but they're still. I mean. How often do you find Founders on tap?
Never.
Yeah.
Unless you're at a craft beer show.
So the idea is that this is going to allow them to make a bigger impact. Now, if that affects the quality of their beer, I'm worried. A lot of people are saying, "Oh well, I guess I can't drink your beer anymore. Bye bye." Which I think it's kind of silly to just do that, knee-jerk reaction right off the bat. Mm-hmm. I mean, legitimately, if nothing changes except they have better distribution now, I mean, if it's your favorite beer, it's your favorite beer.
Right.
It doesn't suddenly taste bad because somebody put a huge infusion of cash into there. But it concerns me because this is, I'm not really for the big company takeover of craft beer, but nobody makes the shit the Founders is making.
That's very true.
So I'm a little concerned about the future.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, this is not bad.
No.
But of course, I need to go from this and get to drinking the drink I brought with me.
So, yeah, that's going to be a bunch of interesting flavors together.
Oh, yeah, it is. And Lana's going to give me shit for it. We were talking about it on the way over.
Do tell.
Well, he's got this, like, it's not, I don't think it's coffee. I don't even know if they put any coffee in it. I'm pretty sure it's just, caramel syrup and, milk. Blended up, because he got a frappuccino.
Okay. So, Lana was always like, let's go get coffee, let's go get coffee, let's go get coffee. I don't know, was this beginning of summer? I finally said, okay, we'll go to Starbucks, because she has money now, so she buys.
Right.
And I try I think originally it was the s'mores frappuccino.
Yeah, you tried the s'mores.
Oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Well, it tasted like a sip of sugar.
Yeah. Now, I guess I'm a basic bitch because I love frappuccinos.
Oh yeah, he gets them every time.
Is that still a thing? Basic bitches?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Pumpkin spice just came out.
Oh yeah, that's...
Fucking Starbucks is plastered with pumpkin spice right now.
I'm not going there. But I love this drink. And I kind of like Starbucks now. I never thought I would, but...
He picks me up after work and he's like, you want to go get coffee? I brought our cups.
It's like the Chappelle meme. You got any more of that? And it's the crackhead looking guy. You could have seen that.
I think I've seen memes of it.
Yeah, they've done it on a lot of those. I guess that was a recurring character on the Chappelle show, but I didn't really get into
I never watched the Chappelle show.
No. Is it just me or do I sound really rumbly today? I don't
Not
like it.
any more than usual, I don't think.
It sounds weird to me. I don't know. Anyhow, we should probably get into the rest of the news. Do we have any more beer news before we move on?
I don't believe so, although I will tell you this. If you are out and about and you happen to be lucky enough to see something from Founders called Dank Wood, comes in a 4-pack. It's a red India Pale Ale, or a red IPA. Absolutely delicious. Definitely try it.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with my adverseness too?
Dude, I'm always going to say you should try it just because I think you need to try new things. But yeah.
I try new things. I find interesting things. There was something I saw that was a cherry something or other that I had intended to save at least one for us to do. But they were so good that I drank all of them.
Was it the Cherry 1911?
No. It was some other brand that had a garden gnome for their on their logo.
No, it's a red IPA that is bourbon barrel aged. It's part of their barrel aged series. So it's got a complexity of character. I've never had a barrel aged IPA before. It was delicious.
We had a barrel aged something. What did we have? You made me try it at the Man Show, and it was so bad that I made them dump it out.
It was the rum one.
Maybe that's what it was. Oh, it was horrible.
Agave? No.
You liked it.
Yeah.
Rum
Runner.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I wanted to fill my mouth with gasoline after that. That was bad for me.
Well, that's kind of what rum tastes like.
Yeah, you're right. We probably could have just lit a match.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. What's got you geeked?
Well, a lot of changes have been happening in the Allen household. Big changes I told you about, but no one on the show knows about. Basically, at the middle of July, okay, my wife gets pulled into a meeting by our big boss. Okay, so our structure, I've talked to...
Is he really big? Is she really big? Or is it just because she's the boss? She's the
just
big
because
boss?
She's the boss.
Okay, so we're not talking like the kingpin. We're talking okay.
No, we're not. Our structure at work is we have a day lead, a day manager, a night manager. We call them the night lead. And then there's the big support manager, who is in charge of both of them and all of us.
The kingpin.
Yeah, okay. So that's our part of the organization. Now, she gets pulled into a meeting. She comes out and she has me log off for a second, and she's just like she's looking like she's turning white, even though she's black. I mean, she was like kind of in shock. Basically, what happened is the big boss is moving on to another part of the company where she will still be interfacing with support, but I believe the idea is making support and other parts of the company communicate better. I think that's the idea. Which we discovered when we were down in Austin, that's a really good thing, because these guys in engineering have no idea what we're facing daily, and so they don't even know what to fix. So that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
My night team lead is now becoming the big boss, and I'm really happy for her. She was actually the person that trained me when I first started, and immediately got promoted to night lead. So she's been at it for 4 years, and now she's proven herself. She's moving up to the head of the whole team. And my wife is being promoted to night lead.
That's outstanding.
She's worked hard for it. She deserves it. She's a trainer for the company. I mean, she's done a lot of extra stuff, and we're excited. But this comes with big changes. Now, they told me that I could stay on the night team and just report to the day team manager if I wanted to, but that doesn't work because we have a daughter who has stuff. Soccer, doctor's appointments, Girl Scouts, things like that. So we are now flipping the script. I will be working 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. My wife is going to be working 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that means she gets Avery on the bus and then, works all evening. I'm now responsible for all the meals during the week, all of the appointments, all of the activities, all of the everything. My 3-4 hours of video game time in the morning is gone.
See, this is where we need a soundboard so we could do the sad Hulk music right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of sad about that, but I mean, of course, I'm going to do it voluntarily because, I mean, this is an amazing promotion.
Yeah, and you have to support your wife.
Absolutely.
That's what you... not into, the actual, bitch, I make my money. But actually, no, emotionally support.
Yeah, and I'm not upset about that. I mean, I'm sad that I won't get to play as much. I mean, I tried so hard to cram everything in there, dude. When we found out about this, I finished Far Cry 4, beat Far Cry 3, and I got a couple hours into Far Cry 5, and I'm not going to get there.
And you're not a night owl guy. Right?
As far as...
staying up late at night after everybody goes to bed.
Well, no, I wouldn't because I have to be to work.
Then you have to be up at... Well, I mean, that doesn't stop me, but...
Yeah, it doesn't stop me either.
Yeah, but you're 17. I'm 42.
I mean, I'm still tired when I wake up.
Oh, just wait till you're 42.
Yeah, when everything starts cracking and popping and it takes 15 minutes to roll out of bed.
Yeah. You have no idea.
Yeah,
I run out of bed.
But, on the bright side, I mean, this is a whole new set of challenges for me. I'm planning out meals and things like that. I mean, it's not like I don't know how to... I mean, when we're off during the weekend, I do all the cooking.
Right.
So now I'm going to be doing all the cooking during the week and probably still cooking on the weekend because that's when I get to barbecue and smoke stuff. So I guess that's just my job now. It would be weird having her cook a meal on a Friday or a Saturday. I don't know.
Because you're so used to doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, planning the stuff out is going to be interesting. She has her set grouping of recipes she kind of recycles through, and then she throws new things in there. I'm going all crazy. I'm doing a cheesy quinoa casserole. I'm going to be doing a sausage Alfredo with it's an Alfredo sauce made out of cauliflower.
Whoa.
So you just lost me.
New. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not. It may not be good.
Like a sauce made out of cauliflower?
Yes, Alfredo. Instead of there's cauliflower and a little bit of like half and half in it, but it's not just cream and cheese and butter. It's a healthier version of an Alfredo sauce. Also bought a wok this week. I'm going to be doing probably a stir fry of some sort, and I got some soba noodles. So I'm going to do some lo mein, some Japanese soba noodles.
Okay.
I'm going to do a lo mein, but I'm thinking about doing a lo mein, but also spiralizing some zucchini and some yellow squash. So it's going to be different kinds of noodles. Some of them made out of vegetables.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's going to give me a chance to do some fun stuff. We're going to try to start eating healthier again because we've been off that wagon for a while. This first week, I'm just going to get used to actually cooking Monday through Thursday. Well, I should just say 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But because I have to plan those ones out because eventually I'm going to have Girl Scouts and soccer practice and therapy appointments and all this other stuff in there. So it's going to be a big change for me, but I'm excited for my wife. I'm excited for getting to try some new things myself. And yeah, that's about it.
And just lamenting the video game loss.
Yeah, I mean, I may be able to catch an hour at night after Avery goes to bed. Because it'll be school again, so she'll be going to bed a little early. So it won't entirely be gone, but I've gotten really used to my good 3-4 hour block.
Get up in the morning, do your stuff, yeah. So that's a good question. Summer vacation, bedtimes or no?
I think that yes, yeah, but I mean, we let Avery stay up till 9 because my wife says so. If it was up to me, she'd still be going to bed at 7:30 every night.
Yeah, see, I still hardline like 8 o'clock, you're going up to bed. Actually, now I've started it. They get ready at 7:30 and then they're allowed to read for a half an hour. So Madison's been hitting the comics pretty hard.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that you should still have bedtimes. I mean, first of all, then you have a period of adjustment. When you go back to school.
Yeah, it's not culture shock when you go back. You've been staying up till 10 o'clock, then all of a sudden, guess what? You're in bed at 7:30.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That throws them all off. But also, I don't think this... I mean, summer vacation's bad enough. We have them home all the time. We shouldn't also lose time at night where we normally wouldn't have them. Okay? I mean, maybe that's selfish.
No, I totally feel you. I mean, and it could be selfish because we all know I'm that guy regardless. But yeah, I need to be my time.
Well, I just think about it more in the lines of, my wife and I can usually hammer out an episode or two of something during the year. But during the summer, we can, like, one episode of TV and then it's bedtime.
Yeah, that's what we've been running into as well. Because we've taken on a new show.
Oh, what show is that?
The Boys on Amazon Prime.
We're going to talk... Is that what you're geeked about?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I am because it's really cool. But now, I'm going to preface this with we've made it through episodes 1 and 2 so far.
Okay.
So, before we get into it too much. But you made it sound like we're going back to that. Is that part of what you've got planned for after this segment?
No, you had it on the list, so I figured you probably have something. Let's do Geeked, and then we can come back around to it.
What has me geeked if you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to step on that. Yesterday, as we're recording this on August 31st, yesterday the new Tool album dropped.
Okay.
Have you gotten to listen to any of this yet?
I have not.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I've heard that it's actually really, really good. And it's been a long time, 13 years?
13 years since Tool put out an album. But in the interim, Keenan has put out how many different projects?
Yeah, with The Perfect Circle.
Yeah, and apparently Tool's been like doing live shows all this time. Like the more I'm reading into it, you're finding out that like they just show up at these different festivals, they'll do a set. Because some of these songs that have been written since like 2015.
Really?
They did a couple of them and people were like, what the fuck is this? And now we know. But I did. What? Seriously? Again? With you? Turn around to you. Why? You're interrupting us talking about Tool. Wearing your meh shirt. Are you kidding me right now? Can you use the dryer? What the fuck do I care? It's on a different level. She thinks nothing of like smashing the gate shut, but then she asks if she can use the dryer. Anyway, I think this is becoming a recurring segment. You guys are fucking with me, aren't you?
No, I have nothing to do with this.
Okay. Do I need to explain that, or do you think it explained itself?
Go ahead and explain it.
We're sitting here, and all of a sudden the door opens again, like it did the last time we recorded. And instead of actually, just doing what she was going to do, Kristen decided she was going to ask if she could use the dryer and grind my What's Got Me Geek to a halt. So I felt the need to make it a whole thing.
I think maybe we should just make that a thing.
The interruption?
Yeah.
Pardon this interruption. Isn't it like an ESPN thing or something? Pardon the interruption?
I wouldn't know. I don't watch ESPN.
Me either, since we don't have it.
But I could totally, say, hey, come downstairs and say this.
Right. Precisely at this time, Excuse me. So back to it. Yes, I was able to get my hands on a copy of the limited edition physical release.
Okay.
Wow.
Really good?
Really, really good. Comes with the digital code, so you can download it and get the extra songs, because the physical copy doesn't come with like the 3 or 4 interludes.
Okay.
It's just the straight 7 songs. Yes, 7 songs. But the final song is a 20-minute song.
Holy crap.
God.
Yeah, and I guess that is like the best track on there. I haven't made it there yet. I've only made it through the first 5, because like I said, it came out yesterday. Drove home was the first time I got to listen to it.
Yeah.
So, phenomenal.
Now here's the question. Are they good, or are they going to be good on the radio?
Well, Fear Inoculum, the first track, has already been released on the radio, and apparently is the longest song that's ever hit into the top 100 Billboard charts.
Really? How long is it?
I think it's only 7 minutes.
That's long for a radio song.
Yeah, but I think it's phenomenal. If you haven't heard any of it yet, I mean, some of it is on the Amazon Alexa.
Okay.
So when we're done here, if you have a minute, we can start playing some of it there, because obviously the CD's in my car.
Yeah.
So, but I totally recommend picking it up, most likely digitally for most people for the price point.
Yeah.
Because did you hear that the physical release is $40?
No.
Yes.
$40 for 7 songs?
And a multimedia production when you open the packaging.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna link to this on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Because you've got to see it. Someone did a pre-release video of it. You open it up and there is a TV screen in the middle of it that plays this long, I would say 10-minute long video with sounds, and it's an actual video. It comes with a charging cable, so you can recharge this thing.
Well, that's why it's $40.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Also has a 37-page art book with the lyrics in it. Like I said, it comes with the digital code, so you can get a digital copy. It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, that is an investment, but
that is really cool. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely need to remember to link to that on the Facebook page.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm writing it down now.
Yeah, I would love to check that out. So that's not the release that you bought. That is the release you bought.
That's the only release physically that you can buy. There is
okay.
no.
So you have this thing. You're not just talking about unboxing. You could show it to me
if I could. Not suffer the wrath of people.
Yeah. People who don't listen to the show.
Right.
And won't find out how much that cost.
Right. So yeah, that's totally. And again, like I said, first 5 songs, amazing. I'm waiting to get through the last 2. It's just like every other Tool album. It's something you have to experience at once. Everything flows into everything else, and the shit they talk about. I don't know how much you guys are Tool fans to begin with.
I mean, I like Tool. Played a few Tool and Perfect Circle songs. I mean, I've been a casual fan. I've never bought an album, but no, I think they're incredibly talented. The videos from the '90s were amazing.
Insane, yes.
But yeah, I think actually maybe I did have a Tool album. I think I did.
Probably Undertow.
Yeah. As far as A Perfect Circle goes, I mean, I listened to it. My old band played a few songs, but I never really got that far into it. Not because I didn't like it, just there's so many different bands. Yeah, you just never decided to pick up an album and listen to the whole thing.
Do yourself a favor, especially with it all being on streaming now, because you have an Alexa device, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all on there now. That happened, I think, August 3rd.
Okay.
In advance of, I think they finally decided, yeah, we gotta kind of get with this, because their announcement that they were doing streaming was kind of funny, because they were talking about how their support of Laserdisc and all this was a bad idea, and now we found out this new thing called a CD or something like that. It was a whole big quick write up. And, so yeah, like entire catalog is on all the streaming services.
Nice.
All on iTunes, Apple Podcasts or whatever they call it now.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Music.
Thank you. But and then they all immediately jumped to like the hot charts on Apple Music because everyone was downloading all of their music because you couldn't before.
Yeah.
And so like all of their old albums and everything are all of a sudden like the hottest albums out there. Which I appreciated. But now I can fill in the gaps in my collection.
There you go.
And that means I also have to finish putting the rest of my actual physical CDs into my iTunes account so I can put them on my iPod. But anyway, what's got you geeked? I knew we were going to get that look.
I mean, I don't know if I have anything.
You're at Geek Pod.
Disaffected youth.
Okay, that's enough dead air. Moving on.
Soundboard, crickets.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, we needed that. Really? Nothing to talk about?
That's okay.
Well, I mean, nothing you guys are going to care about. Or would care about.
We've sat here and listened to you talk about makeup before.
I mean, that's probably all I would have.
Okay. I mean, I get excited about cheeseburgers. So, I mean, makeup's okay too.
Oh, I mean, Wendy's brought back spicy nuggets.
I saw that on the drive-thru.
I'm pretty happy about that. I really like spicy nuggets.
She really likes spicy nuggets.
I do. I mean, they're good. I also get 50% off because I work there.
That is even better.
It is even better.
I picked her up last night from work and she had spicy nuggets. Now, mind you, I had paused because I was halfway through making bacon fried rice for the family last night. And I got everything done to the point where I had to throw it all in the wok, and then I went to pick her up from work. I sit there for 10 minutes after she's supposed to be out for her to walk out with a bag of food.
It was not because of the food. I made all of my food myself, and I cashed myself out. So the entire food process took about 1 minute. It was because they didn't finish counting my drawer on time.
Those fuckers.
Right?
Anyway, but yeah, she comes out with nuggets, and she's like, I like these spicy nuggets.
Because I do.
And you don't think to record things like this?
With what?
You have a fancy cell phone, right?
I don't ever use the... I suppose I could use the recording thing. I don't know. I'd have to find it.
I mean,
Just
I'm
to
just
record me saying I like spicy chicken nuggets?
Maybe I'll do that. I'll start recording her saying
secretly.
weird shit. Yeah.
Yeah. See, because like that could be like just a great audio drop in the middle of an episode. Just randomly we're talking along, all of a sudden, I like spicy nuggets. And then...
That is not what I sound like.
But it sounds better that way in my head. Like, and you guys are also envisioning like a Forrest Gump in that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why we're best friends.
Same idea.
Okay, we should probably get into this whole laundry list of shit I have here.
Oh my god, yes.
Are you not impressed, by the way, that I came with this much shit to talk about?
I absolutely am impressed. And you know, I feel bad because I didn't. So I guess I can just say this right now. There's no news segment this week. We decided we were going to record, and last night I'm waiting for her. I actually got to Wendy's early. That's what made that extra 10 minutes, kill, because I got there 20 minutes with some Post-its, a pen, and my phone, and I was going to go through and construct my news segment. Now, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I apparently have this thing where my eyes are like allergic to my skin oil. This is why I have to shower every day. Because towards the end of the day...
anti-stink factor.
Well, yeah, that too.
Okay.
Towards the end of the day, if I rub my face and rub some of my skin oil into my eye, it's like I touched, onions and stuck them in my eye. And it's
Wait,
awful.
have you done that?
Well, I've cooked for years. I've accidentally gotten onion juice in my eye.
I've never actually gotten the juice in my eye, but like the onion stink or whatever that makes them sting, that I've done a few times.
It's bad. Don't ever do it. But so I'm sitting there, and it happens with my right eye while I'm trying to read my phone. Now, I did get through one Post-it. I even had a little thing, Basically, I was going to say, it was going to the title of the first thing was going to be, is he actually going to finish this one? And I was going to talk about how the director of Terminator Dark Fate, James Cameron, has come out and said that this new movie is going to be the first in a trilogy. He has stories planned. And that just kind of gets me thinking, because he has such a reputation for finishing things he started. I loved Avatar 2 and 3. And T3, Rise of the Machines, that he didn't actually direct, produce, or was involved in, was fantastic. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe he just completes this movie and makes a good movie, and then we'll see. Don't put your brain power towards that. I mean, he's old enough. he's going to die soon. He's got 2 Avatar movies, now 2 Terminator movies to make. I just think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. So that was going to be the first news segment, and then I was going to say, well, I've got to go, see if I can actually figure out how to rock someone like in a radioactive hurricane. Boom, back to you, Paul. That's basically all I have of the news segment. Because I was sitting there with my eye watering, looking like I was crying, taking my shirt sleeve, trying to... It was awful.
I'm going to get you some makeup wipes.
I don't even know if that would help.
That was her takeaway from that whole story.
I did shower yesterday, so it shouldn't have happened that early. It usually happens about the time I go to bed is when it's a problem.
Maybe you need to eat less onions? Maybe they're literally, like, coming out of your pores.
I don't know. Maybe.
Shit just got weird.
It did. But as you can see, I actually was working on the news. And then that happened, and all my time was gone, and I was like, fuck this.
Again, maybe we need to invest in a GoPro, dash cam, something. Because, I think the audience would have loved to see you just writing away, and all of a sudden, yeah. And then go into, the tard twitch.
Yeah, that's
again, we need video here, because that probably would have been good. But, we have discussed video before, but, shit happens, and, no budget, because no one pays us to do this shit.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Right? We could retire to Liverpool.
Wait, aren't we already in Liverpool?
Exactly, that's kind of my point. So we're just going to do a bunch of quick hits and discuss a bunch of the shit that's gone down.
Oh, it's been a crazy summer.
Yes. Should we consider that just a GeekPod summer vacation?
Yeah.
Okay, That works for me. Speaking of, do you want to discuss what you did this summer before we get into the nerd shit?
I don't even remember anymore.
That means it was a good summer. Look at that.
No, not like that. What did we...
Well, did you go to Texas?
Well, we already discussed that one.
That was more spring. We went to Watkins Glen. We went to...
Didn't somebody go to Lake George or something?
Well, yeah,
like
Damara and Avery went to Lake George,
Enchanted
and they went
Forest.
to Corning. Yeah, we did Enchanted Forest.
Nice.
It was just... We just did family stuff. We did quite a few... no, I shouldn't say quite a few, but we did 2 big barbecue type things.
Nice. Yeah, you had a family reunion, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's really a reunion. A reunion is more people distant coming and showing up. This is just an excuse to get everybody from my wife's family together at least once a year because, there are people who live too far away to show up. There are people who are constantly fighting and won't show up, but there are some people who everybody's good with, but we never see each other. So, like her nephew Devin, I see him at our reunion thing that we have in the summer, and I see him at Christmas at her mother's house.
Yeah.
Her mom does a little, Christmas Eve dinner.
The whole family kind of...
Well, it's really just... it's not the whole family,
Mm-hmm.
but, it's a time to see those people because, we don't interact in any other meaningful way the rest of the year.
I hear you. That's kind of how my family is, too. They get together for just, the major holidays. That's about it.
But it's nice, we did ribs this year. I've done ribs twice this summer. Man, I love making ribs. I pretty much have my recipe locked down with a sour cherry glaze. It is fucking awesome.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
What?
A sour cherry glaze.
Well, it's tart. I should say a tart cherry glaze.
There you go.
But it's basically butter, cherries, sugar, and the last hour of cooking it goes on there instead of barbecue sauce, basically. I'm putting the cherry glaze on there, which pulls in some of the flavors from barbecue. You got the sweet, you got the tart, but you're not getting the ketchup. So basically, we're pulling the tomato out of there and putting a different fruit in there, if you will. It's excellent.
I like it. That would be good.
But that's it. That's my summer.
Outstanding. That's not a bad thing. Hey, anytime you can just chill and not fucking be doing the day-to-day grind, I'm all about that shit. Yeah. Even if you are stuck in New Hampshire when your team's playing the playoffs and all you can do is hang out with your in-laws.
Bitter much?
No, not at all.
Bitter like an IPA.
I'm getting a little soapy over here. Okay, that might be good too.
I like that one. That could be taken several different ways.
Okay, so we want to head into TV talk, comic talk.
You pick. Dealer's choice.
Oh, look at you added shit in here. I didn't even notice that. So let's hit one of the big ones. This Sony Disney spat.
Ooh. My heart breaks.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like it's going to end well.
Well, it may still be too early. I mean, they're both. This is a game of brinksmanship, and I think that what you're going to probably find is that Disney is going to look at the incredibly rich stable of characters they just purchased and decide, you know what, we really don't need to pursue this right now.
Right.
I mean, I've seen the blame game back and forth. I guess the thing that really... This is what I don't understand, and maybe you can explain this to me, Paul. They're saying that Disney was only getting 5%, they wanted 50%. But Disney also wanted to put 50% of the capital up, which seems like that would be a better deal for Sony overall. I mean, am I missing something there?
You're missing more of the fine points of the details.
Okay.
Marvel, Disney, was also offering to help oversee spin-off characters, effectively bringing Venom, Morbius, everybody else into the fold, into the MCU.
Okay.
Which means they were also going to cover half the cost on all of that.
Which also seems like a really good deal.
Mm-hmm. And to sweeten the pot, they were going to allow Sony TV rights to live-action Spider-Man stuff.
Which they're working on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess for some reason they don't have the rights right now, like TV deals.
But they do. They're working on it.
On live action? I know they can...
They're actively working on live action shows, yeah.
Maybe it's not live action. Maybe it was animated, because I know all the Spider-Man animated shit is Disney.
Okay.
So maybe they were going to allow them in on that game. Because I know it was something else that was sweetening the pot for Sony, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, why would you say no to this?
Yeah, I mean, if they just wanted... Because here's the thing. You could make the case that Disney deserved more than 5% based on the success of the last two Spider-Man movies because of how much input they had crafting the story. You could make that argument. But they didn't go there and say, we just want 50%.
Yeah, give us more money. No, they were making concessions. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess maybe overall, by Sony giving up 45% and getting 50% of what it costs to make, maybe they would have made a little less money overall. I mean, I would tend to think that would at least even out, unless the movie makes $1 billion, and then they're still going to, not as much as they would have under the old thing, but they also have somebody else basically running the show. They really don't have to do much but put up the money, half the money, and then somebody else makes the movie.
Exactly.
And they get the profits.
Yeah, and I don't understand Sony's stance on this, unless there's more that we don't know, which I doubt. And you can't tell me that this wasn't perfectly timed for the news to drop. They announced they're re-releasing Far From Home, and then Disney's like, well, alright, we're going to air the dirty laundry now, see how that works out for you. Because I had considered taking the kids to see it again. And then when they said that, I'm like, well, I mean, if this is the end of Spider-Man the MCU, I'm not fucking spending money on it again. So, and that's my stance for now. I've even put away my Spider-Man shirts. As you can see, now I'm wearing Flash.
Well, you know, the big thing that people aren't realizing here, though, is that I don't think this has a big impact on the MCU, and I'm going to explain that to you.
I already agree with you, but yeah, continue.
But I think the bigger impact is it's just sad that we're not going to be able to see what Spider-Man could have become, at least for a while. Now, if Tom Holland stays around, Sony makes a few movies, they decide, hey, you know what, this isn't working. You know Disney will come back to the table.
Oh,
they're probably going to want more.
But they don't need to, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay. But I was thinking about this, and I'm like, what Marvel stories? Now, there are Spider-Man stories that need other characters, but what Marvel Universe stories absolutely require Spider-Man? There's one. It's Civil War. We already did it, and we're never getting a comic book accurate portrayal of that in film. That is and I may be wrong, but I say that is 100% the only big Marvel story that absolutely has to have Spider-Man.
Right, because any other ones where he was a pivotal character was more for his benefit, not the Marvel Universe's.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, isn't he meant to replace Tony Stark? You guys don't consider that
the way they were setting that up, but you know what? They can work around that.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of have to work around that.
Wait, does Lana... Do you even understand what we're talking about?
Vaguely, I know you're talking about Spider-Man and something about Disney buying it and Sony making
Hold
movies.
on. She probably doesn't... She doesn't read the news. Okay, so Sony owns Spider-Man.
Okay.
They've owned the film rights for years.
Yeah.
The last few movies, all the movies that Tom Holland has been in, Disney went to Sony and said, listen, let's work out a deal. Mm-hmm. You let us use Spider-Man as a character in our movies. We are going to help you make your movies. Kevin Feige, who runs the Marvel Universe, he was actually, he helped make both the Spider-Man movies. He worked on Venom.
He was an executive producer on all of those.
Yeah, and they helped write. Basically, they helped Sony make the movies. They got 5% of the first day box office. So they didn't get paid a whole lot, but it allowed them to use Spider-Man. That deal is expired, and Disney went to Sony and said, listen, we would like to keep doing this. We want 50% of the profit, but we're also going to give you 50% of the financing for the movie, which they weren't doing before.
Right, no, so, Sony was covering it, and they were covering marketing.
Yeah, they were going to pay for half the movie. They were going to get half the profit, but they would still be doing, they'd have all their people making the movies for Sony. I mean, Sony would just be printing money.
Yeah, Sony basically was just getting the money off it, and I think still covering part of the marketing.
Yeah, and Sony decided no. So what that means is, unless they come to a deal, Spider-Man is no longer part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
For now.
Because
the projections already are, and this was before this deal even came through, that within the next 5 years, another company is going to buy out Sony's film division.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing well. Like, most of the movies they come out with are shit. And the contract for the rights to Spider-Man and all of his ancillary characters does not transfer in that case. So they get bought out, the rights go back to Marvel regardless.
Oh, really?
So Disney can just wait this out if they want to. You know what I mean? They're going to get the rights back regardless.
Right.
The smartest thing Sony could do is come back to the table, fix it, and write in a clause that if they get bought out, like, Disney buys back the rights to Spider-Man first, so they at least get something out of the deal. Otherwise, they just get it back for nothing.
Okay.
And Sony's just left with their balls in their hand.
But yeah, it's sad because I would have liked to. I wanted to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man grow up.
Me too.
Yeah,
and the stuff
really
they were talking about
for
for the third one, like, we were talking like senior year of high school, like all the changes that brings on. Have you guys have seen Far From Home, haven't you?
I haven't yet.
Okay, I don't want to.
Well, unfortunately, the internet has spoiled some things for me.
Okay.
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah, such a good movie. You've got to see that.
That's
really
what I
good.
hear.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Oh my god, the way they did Mysterio was amazing. That is now one of Madison's favorite characters.
Really?
She has been begging for the Mysterio figure, which you can't find anywhere and goes for like $40 online now.
Wow.
For the cheapo kids version of it, not like the Marvel Legends fancy. So, but psst, I found it. Naturally. So,
yeah.
Any other final thoughts on the Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, they're going to continue making movies. They're going to keep making them with Tom Holland. They're going to cross over with Venom. Sony seems to believe that they can make a good Spider-Man movie now since they made Into the Spider-Verse. I finally did see that. That was an excellent movie. I look at it this way. If I think I can do something well, but I know somebody that I 100% know is going to do it better, or do it at least as well, they're going to do a great job, and I get to profit off that, why would I not let them do the work?
Right.
Right, because the better the movie, the more money. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And the more tie-ins, because, yeah, you're going to lose people who are mad about this, but also, I mean, you're never going to have Spider-Man tying into, like, Adventures Endgame, like Homecoming apparently does. You're no longer going to have that synergy. That's going to affect things. You're going to have Marvel dropping Captain Marvel 2 on top of Spider-Man 3 and not giving a shit.
Right,
and,
yeah. They don't have to play nice with the scheduling now.
Exactly. I don't get it. It would have been a better deal for them to just let things continue. But in the same vein, Marvel's got enough to do right now.
Right. With everything that's coming on the horizon.
X-Men and Fantastic Four back in the fold, that's huge. Plus, I mean, all of the announcements that came out of D23? Is that because it's the 23rd one?
No, they've always called it D23. Okay. I don't know why.
All right. But yeah.
We need like a Disney aficionado to explain that kind of shit to us.
Okay.
Because I'm a Marvel Star Wars guy.
Man, there's so much stuff that came out of there. I mean, the Marvel Universe is about to explode.
Yes. And that is also on my list, and I'm sure you know why that's on the top of my list.
I do.
So out of D23, we got, announcements of 3 more Disney Plus shows?
Yeah, that's on top of WandaVision and...
Falcon and the...
Winter Soldier.
I wanted to say Scarlet Witch for a second. I don't know why. I'd watch that show too, though.
Yeah.
As well as the Hawkeye announcement.
Yeah.
They're doing more Hawkeye stuff.
TV series. It's going to be him.
And his daughter, maybe?
No.
No?
Kate Bishop.
Okay.
But I thought with the way Endgame started that she was going to be their version of Kate Bishop, but I guess there is going to be a Kate Bishop.
Okay.
He's going to it's going to be Jeremy Renner mentoring the next generation. Which you can kind of see that's what they're doing throughout the whole MCU at this point.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. What else did we see? I'm trying to remember the other announcements that initially came out from San Diego, because that's where the Hawkeye announcement came from, right?
No, I think that was it.
It seems like there was one more show. It might have been a Star Wars show.
Yeah, I mean, there's The Mandalorian coming out.
Oh my! I guess the trailer dropped for that.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it yet either.
Well,
but I can't wait.
there was a teaser trailer I saw, and I was kind of like, eh. I mean, it's like sweeping vistas of Star Wars crap in a Boba Fett armor. It was
yeah. No, I guess the real deal trailer dropped last Friday.
Oh, okay. Then I
like coming out of D23. I haven't watched it yet either. I haven't had time because work's been insane. But the big ones, they just did 3 new announcements. Also on the heels of this whole Sony Disney thing. So again, I think it was Disney going, oh yeah? Guess what? So we're getting a She-Hulk
which I'm
TV
so
series.
excited about.
That's going to be so cool. So fucking cool. The one that's got my kids excited, Ms. Marvel.
Also awesome.
Little concerned on how her powers are going to translate to live action.
Because that could be creepy.
Yeah, that's going to be weird. But I really do want to see her do the giant hand bitch slap at least once. I'm just saying. And then they announced one other show. One
other show that has you pounding the table and probably being picked up by the recording?
I haven't done that yet, have I?
You
doing this, but it's not catching anything.
Oh, okay.
Because I learned my lesson from the last time when I was throwing pens around. And, yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what it was. There was a third show.
Come on, Paul.
Yes, they're doing a fucking Moon Knight show. I am so fucking... I literally jumped up and down in the kitchen when I saw that one did pick up.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that worries me is there is nothing on Disney Plus rated over a PG-13. So, how dark are we going to get with a character who has dissociative identity disorder?
Well, I will put it... I think we might have talked about this in the past. I think you can do Deadpool PG-13, and it's fine. It's a lack of some F-bombs and, some penis jokes. It's still Deadpool. Yes, the R-rated...
Barely Deadpool.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, really, have you watched the PG-13 cut?
Parts of it, yeah, okay. I have it. It's still good. You get the gist of the story, and it doesn't go over the top. But that's what I love about my Deadpool is I want over the top for that.
Right. You want profanity and dumb jokes and
but
all that.
Here's the thing. Here's the more important thing. You guys got to look at the big picture here. By having things hit that PG-13 rating, they can incorporate those characters into the larger universe.
Agreed.
Which means Deadpool and Wolverine, once they reboot the X-Men, is there because that's what they're talking about. They want to have a Deadpool movies will still be R-rated, but when he appears in other places, he's going to have to be PG-13. Let's be completely honest. The Deadpool comic book is PG-13, and that's
it kind of has to be, right?
Yeah, and that's what all of his popularity. Before any of the movies, Deadpool was popular because of a PG-13 comic. So don't tell me he can't be entertaining in a PG-13 movie. That makes no sense.
I can tell you that because I didn't like his comics. I just liked the movies. Remember?
Well, that's what the comics came from.
Yes.
If we didn't have that's what the movies came from. We didn't have the comics.
You're right. You're absolutely right. We need a comic accurate Deadpool origin movie. So, no feet, lots of pouches, and hands that couldn't possibly be holding those guns.
I don't think they need to redo the origin story.
No,
I think they're going to just stick with it.
I just wanted to make the Liefeld joke. I don't really want another origin story. I just needed to make my Liefeld joke.
He's the one character that can just pop up and be like, oh, this is all different now, whatever.
So this is what we're doing now. Okay.
Yep, basically.
Yep. And I would be great with that. I need that joke in the first Disney-owned Deadpool movie.
What would be great is if he tries to drop an F-bomb and can't and doesn't understand why.
Oh, what the... Yeah, that would be great.
That would be perfect.
I like it.
You're welcome, Disney. You can send the check to...
I dare you to give your address on the mic.
I almost did.
Another one. Soundboard, we could bleep it out.
Anyway, moving on. Or not moving on. Moon Knight. You're still talking about Moon Knight.
Yes.
So we know this is going to be live action and not animated, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And your boy Kevin Feige has already said that any of these Disney Plus shows will then eventually lead to them appearing into the movies. So everything is heavily tied together now.
That's awesome.
Yes, like because I would love to just see, if nothing else, Ms. Marvel interacting with Captain Marvel in the movies.
Yeah.
That would be really freaking cool. We have to have She-Hulk interacting with Mark Ruffalo. It has to happen. I mean, Moon Knight, I mean, that's not as big of a deal for, the rest of the world. I want to see him interacting with the Avengers, but I would have loved it when Stark was around. But what are you going to do?
I wish that they would decide to pull some of the Netflix stuff into continuity. At least, come on, think about it. If we could have Punisher, Daredevil, Moon Knight, Marvel Knights,
yes,
that would be so awesome.
They're talking about potentially, and I'm air quoting here, rebooting Daredevil already for FX.
Are they going to use the same actor, though?
I would love for them to use the same actor, but I don't know.
You can't reboot Daredevil right now.
No, it just came out.
Well, I mean, I thought the last time we talked, didn't they say there was like a 2-year embargo?
Yeah.
Yeah, before they could use any of the Netflix characters.
Yeah, and we don't know that they can't use the same characters. I mean, I don't feel like anything's been done in those TV shows that screws up the movie
No.
No, I mean...
Right,
yeah, I mean, even Wilson Fisk has had some rough stuff, but the Kingpin has gone back and forth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could, get him out of prison again. He's not dead.
Right. Nothing has happened in those shows that you can't undo.
Yeah.
Or not even undo. I mean, just not even...
build off of.
Yes, thank you. Precisely. Are we done with Marvel stuff? Because we have one more Netflix thing here.
Okay.
Have you heard that they're doing the He-Man animated series on there?
I have, and Kevin Smith is going to be taking care of that.
Guess who's not going to watch that?
You.
Me. I canceled Netflix.
Oh, good for you.
That is the only reason why I'm not watching.
I'd like to.
I did in preparation for Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. Got rid of that one, so when the Disney Plus comes around, I can look at Kristen and be like, well, it's cheaper. And this is happening whether you want to or not.
I talked about this with my wife, and part of the problem is she still watches a lot of shows on Netflix. I'm trying to get her over to Amazon since we just have that anyway, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's hard, especially, but we weren't watching a lot on Netflix. Like, I watched some of the Marvel shows, didn't even finish getting through Defenders. Not for lack of wanting to, just lack of freaking time. And then I was finally like, it's like, this is $14 a month, like, literally going out the window. We're not turning it on. The kids quit watching it. Like, they used to watch cartoons on it once in a while, but they quit.
Oh, Avery watches it just about every day.
So, yeah. See, you're getting your money's worth out of it.
I'm not. Everyone else is. But.
Well, there you go. But, yeah, it wasn't working for us anymore. So I was like, well, get rid of that. And I know full well I'm going to go ham on freaking Disney Plus when it comes out, because there's so much content on there I want to watch. Plus, all of the freaking movies, all the Disney movies are on there. Like, they just came out with this big comprehensive list of, like, all the stuff that's going to be there day one. And it's
really?
A ton of shit.
Well, is it, beyond the comic book stuff and the Star Wars stuff and the kids' movies, is there going to be anything anyone else is going to want to watch?
Let's see. There's new stuff they're doing. They're doing a Jeff Goldblum TV series on there. Where it's him, like, reacting to the world and stuff like that. I don't know. It's supposed to be really funny. They're doing they're resurrecting a lot of old Disney Channel shows.
Okay.
Lizzie McGuire's coming back with Hilary Duff.
See, the one thing that Netflix has is I can go and watch some horror movies and things like that.
You're not going to see that on Disney Plus,
I know,
obviously.
Yeah. I find that challenging.
Yeah. But you know what? Disney Plus isn't made for people like that, unfortunately.
Well, I was kind of hoping when they bought Fox and everything that, there are age restrictions on Netflix. Okay, Avery has her own profile, so she doesn't get it. I was kind of hoping that at least that film catalog would be part of this streaming service. There would be, if I feel like watching a horror movie or a hard sci-fi movie or something, it would be there. This kind of feels like it's for little kids and comic book fans and Star Wars fans, which, I fall into two of those categories, but that's...
But what if you want to watch Alien?
Yeah.
Which they own now.
Where the hell do I do that?
Where is that? Yeah. But hey, you can watch The Simpsons, because the entire catalog of that's going to be on there too. Yeah, I think everyone heard our eyes rolling on that one. I'm looking over the list and see if there's anything else TV related before we move on, and I don't see anything. Wait, Netflix, you had another TV series thing.
There definitely is TV stuff, because you wanted to talk about The Boys.
Yes. But what about Carnival Row? Isn't that Netflix also? Since we're discussing,
Carnival Row is Amazon.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, well then let's lead right into our Amazon.
Netflix is coming back with the Dark Crystal. You
Oh,
guys
that
know
just
what
already
that is?
that came out already. That came out last week, right?
Last week.
This past week, right? It was,
Yeah, but still, I think it's really cool. You guys don't.
I've never seen the Dark Crystal.
Neither have I.
Oh my god.
I've heard great things
guys
if
suck.
you're into creepy Muppets.
I mean, the movie was great, and the movie came out like years ago, so I can't even imagine what they're doing with like all the technology they have now. Because that movie was, there's so much like makeup and like effects that.
Wasn't it all Muppets? Weren't they? Or were there live people?
Screen.
Basically.
But I mean, it's just I'm personally excied.
Nothing
saw
wrong
it
with
this
that.
morning.
See, she is geeked about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
She
I
just
didn't
forgot.
think about that until after my little dead air was done.
Well, your mom liked the Dark Crystal, so.
Oh yeah,
she's
so I mean,
what got you
naturally,
into
I like it too. She had like this like 3 movies that were Jim Henson movies, and
Mhm.
The Dark Crystal was one of them, and it had Labyrinth and The Mirror Mask, I think it's called. Which you guys probably
I don't
know.
even know what that is.
No.
It's really creepy, but I loved those movies because I mean they're creepy. It's weird, but I'm excited for it, and that's all.
Dark
I w-
Crystal,
I wish we
Revolutions, or
could-
something.
Wish we could talk about it.
Yeah.
I really have no experience with
Me either. I literally know they are creepy, lifelike Muppets.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
It's like Fraggle Rock in the 90s.
On acid.
Yeah.
Age of Resistance or something is what the new one's
it's
called,
called
right?
Age of Resistance.
Isn't that something that they're also using as a tagline for Star Wars in the comics now?
I wouldn't know. I don't read Star Wars comics.
Probably. Sounds like something.
I think it's
that
like a
Star
whole
Wars would use.
subset, like now that they're doing a bunch of like one-shots off of. But again, I'm not reading any of the Star Wars comics that are apparently coming to an end soon anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up until Rise of Skywalker, and then they're going to, I guess, go off from that. I mean, that is going to be the end of this story. So, I mean, Star Wars actually needs some new stories.
True.
You know, it's a little weird. I mean, if they're really going to do a clean break, I mean, I'm imagining that there's going to be no Millennium Falcon, no Chewbacca,
Right,
no
no.
R2 and C-3PO, no anything. It might be 1,000 years later.
Or 1,000 years in the past, because I heard one of the new trilogies,
Don't do
they're
that.
Old Republic, supposedly.
Okay, maybe, but still, I hate it when they go backwards.
Yeah. Supposedly made by the writers of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
That's
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not sure, because I never finished Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I didn't mind the end of Game of Thrones so much, just because I kind of felt like they did better than I thought they could, considering what a mess the last season kind of became. I mean,
That's what I
enjoyed
heard.
it. But then again, I mean, when you're not working from source material anymore, and you're trying to take all these storylines and wrap it up in 8 episodes, I don't think they did that bad. I wasn't angry about it, but I do think that they're really good at building worlds. I just don't know if they are really good at ending them.
Gotcha.
But I digress.
Yeah.
We were talking about Carnival Row, though.
Yes.
Just very briefly, we watched the first episode last
So that
night.
already dropped too?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was, I'd heard about it. It's this weird, almost like alternate history where England, which isn't England, also knows of like another land with fairies and magical creatures. And there's a third one called the Pact that they're at war with. And basically,
People.
yeah, the Pact wipes, basically the English or the Brogue, they let the Pact take over, and they come back to where they are, and they let all the fairies and everybody come, and basically they're refugees living in this one area of England, and it's just a very interesting world. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's very good yet, but so far, I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, there's like some heavy like racism, but like with like I don't know, like the goat people and like the fairies, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, because I haven't watched any of it.
They've got like horns and hooves.
Yeah, well,
they-
I'm saying that there's like racism towards them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that seems to be a big plot, and
Yeah.
maybe that'll get heavy-handed. I don't know, but if nothing else, they built a very interesting world that I want
Yeah.
to see more of.
Yeah.
And it's original. I mean, we don't get a lot of original IPs these
Right.
days, you know.
And that's the one that's got the chick from Suicide Squad in it, right?
It's
Cara
got- is she from Suicide
Cara
Squad?
Delevingne? No,
Yeah.
I don't.
She
think
was the Enchantress in Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
she was. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, I saw his name in there, but has he aged so badly.
We were talking about that last night.
Like, I didn't recognize him in the trailer for it, and I've seen that trailer multiple times, and I'm like, was he really in there? Or?
Yeah, he's that main male character. He looks pretty rough.
Philo, I think his name is.
Wasn't that one of the dogs in one of those, like, sad Disney dog movies?
It's also the name of my TV service. Go figure.
Huh. It's all connected.
I think so. But yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, check it out. I mean, we might get 3 episodes in and it sucks, but right now it's very interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely go watch
have they done
episode.
Like the whole? Like, can you binge it, or are they dropping one at a time? Because that's what else I heard on Disney Plus. Episodes once a week.
Yep.
I don't like that now.
Yeah, well, that's so that you can't subscribe for a month and binge it. You have to keep your subscription.
It's smart. Don't get me wrong. On their point, it's smart, but I don't want that. I want to, like, if I'm going to finish episode 1 of Moon Knight, I want to jump right into the next fucking one.
Except you won't ever have time to watch 2 episodes of TV back to back ever.
Moon Knight, it's going to have to be an exception.
Are you going to take vacation?
I may have to. I mean, no, because it's going to come out weekly, so I'm not going to be able to do that anyway.
Well, if you wait until it all comes out.
Moon Knight. Maybe She-Hulk I can do that way. I'll binge She-Hulk, but Moon Knight, well, no. But we're going backwards. We're supposed to be continuing on with our Amazon Prime TV.
Okay.
The Boys.
Yes.
So you have been watching?
I've watched.
Have you finished it?
Thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have, and I was excited because it's one of my favorite comic books ever.
Okay, that was going to be my next question because I hadn't read the comics, but I did some research before I started watching it, so I knew some of the stuff that was coming, like what they did to Starlight in episode 1. I know how much worse that was in the comic.
There's some stuff coming up. I don't know if they can do on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. But I almost don't want to see that in real life. Some of the things that I know could potentially be coming. But beyond that, what a great fucking show.
It is. It is. I watched episode 1. When shit started getting fucked up, Kristen checked out. She was done. Got her iPad back out. Started talking through the show. I get mad. I'm like, look, I want to see this. Like, I really want to watch this. So you need to fucking stop. Finish the episode. Holy shit, is the stuff that happens in that show fucked up.
Yeah.
But amazing. And amazingly well done. Like, so fucking good. Like, when A-Train runs through the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the way all that happens. And you know it's happening because that was in all of the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
But just, I was like, holy fuck. And, like I said, I've made it through 2 episodes. So I also know about the grenade. But amazing. But anyway, I'm sorry. She was bugging me to watch TV afterwards. And I said, we don't have anything to watch. We're all caught up on Fear the Walking Dead, blah, blah, blah. She goes, well, what about that weird superhero show? I said, the one you didn't want to watch? She goes, well, I gotta admit, it was kind of good. I'm like,
oh, nice.
So yeah, we watched, she asked to watch episode 2. I've got to get through the rest of it because I'm being harassed at work because there's a bunch of them there that have watched it and they want to talk about it, and I'm like, I'm just not there yet. I mean, I can't sit down for 8.5 hours and binge the whole fucking series at once as much as I want to.
Take a day off.
Well, I'd like to, but all those are reserved for medicine appointments typically. Actually, I can get away from doing that because we don't have that many appointments anymore. So maybe. But anyway, holy fuck, amazing.
It only gets better.
And the fucked up shit these characters do. Homelander taking a fucking plane down with a little kid on it?
Yeah.
And, I mean, and how much do we get into Dark Noir or whatever? Because I know how that plays out too. I don't want to go into it.
I don't feel like they really... They didn't really touch on that this season.
Right, he's more of like a cameo character so far, right?
Yeah.
From what I've seen, yeah. Like, are we going to basically be focusing on Huey's story and Starlight's? Because kind of like how
for the most part.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there are a few other things, but I'll tell you the very last episode. For people who didn't read the comics and weren't prepared, I mean, they're just going to be kind of like floored by how that all plays, how everything all plays out. I cannot wait for season 2. I'm glad that they're already.
Yeah, they announced it before season 1 came out, right?
Yeah, they were halfway through filming it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully they're not going to make us wait that long.
Yeah.
And I figure, mind you, I read the comics years ago. I figure we've got at least 3 seasons worth of story, maybe 4. I mean, there's a finite amount. Of course, they could try to compress it into 2 seasons, but I'm guessing we're looking at 3 seasons. That's what I'm going to call right now.
Okay. To like get where it ended off at, because it was what, like 60 issues?
Yeah, 61 issues, I believe.
And is that including like the spin-offs, like Hero Gasm or whatever that was?
Probably not.
Okay.
But I don't know if those will fit into the narrative of the show.
Okay.
I mean, they're referenced in the main comic, and then they kind of went back and showed you what happened, but I don't know that they necessarily need to be in there. And some of that might be a little too... It might take them too far off the story they're trying to tell.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I did some research, but I've only got broad strokes. So, you have a look on your face like you wanted to make a joke there?
I do.
God. Go for it.
No, it's good.
Anything more on that?
No, just watch it. If you have
Oh my
Amazon,
God,
watch it.
do. But unless you're like a little wine bitch, don't, because that's not the show for you if you're going to get butthurt easily. Because
it's real though. It's not like they're doing...
That's how I described it, is like if there were people with superhero abilities, this is what would happen.
Yeah, these are the assholes they would really be.
Yes. So messed up. And as I understand it, it's going to get worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Much, much worse.
I can't wait. I might have to watch another one tonight.
There you go.
Especially now that we have an extra day off this week.
Or read the comics.
I want to do that too. I might have to go back and do that. Okay. So speaking of comics, let's get into that.
Okay.
Where are you on your reading habits lately? Are you reading again? I know for a while you didn't have time.
I went through and tried to catch up on my backlog. Got as far as the S's.
Okay.
So I'm still not caught up yet, but I'm a lot more than I was. If I'm going to throw anything out there, still loving Immortal Hulk.
That's what I hear. I hear it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, really anything I would talk about you probably have on your list, especially what happened in the most recent Batman comic.
Yes, and do you think that's far enough out that we can discuss what happened, or no?
I think so.
Okay, feel free, because that is on the list here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last panel of the last issue of Batman, Bane snaps Alfred's neck.
Do we think that sticks, because Alfred's been dead before?
This is tricky, okay? But this theory kind of comes directly from what came out of Marvel this week, where we found out that the only reason that they allowed Spider-Man's identity to be revealed in Civil War was they knew they had Brand New Day coming a year from now.
Okay.
And I always thought that was... I didn't realize that was the... I thought it was the symptom, not the disease. But it turns out that the only reason they did that was they already had that plan.
They had the back door.
There is a big Dr. Manhattan-size reset button in the DC universe that's about to come to a close in 2 issues, I believe, right? We're at, what, issue 10 of Doomsday Clock?
I think so. Don't they keep pushing them back, though?
They do. But anything that happens in DC now, I don't trust.
Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, because potentially, maybe not. But we have this being who's looking at all the multiverses. When this ends, for it to have an impact on the DC universe, for these 12 issues to actually fucking matter, there's going to have to be a big reset.
Yeah.
I think so.
See, I haven't been reading that either.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's... I guess... I don't see how you have this and there isn't some big... They're going to have different timelines coming together or something.
There has to be some sort of
otherwise
payoff
there's no point
for this, yeah.
So I say this is a great time for them to kill off lots of characters because they can come back whenever they...
Because they want to do it, yeah. So does that also possibly play into this whole Justice Do More that's happening right now?
Not reading Justice League, so
okay.
I don't know.
Supposedly, Luthor got a hold of some apex predator thing. He's super powerful. Supposedly they have 3 days to try and undo what's going to / already has happened, where he basically kills the entire Justice League, like takes over the planet. They try to go to the past and fix it. Luthor's already won there. They try to go to the future and fix it. Luthor's already won there. So it's a whole... I don't know.
I stopped reading Justice League. I started when they the last renumbering they did or whatever, and it just kind of became a mess. There were stories that went on for too long. There were stories that crossed over into too many books.
Gotcha.
And from one issue to the next, I'm in a completely different place, and I'm just like, this is why I stopped reading X-Men in the 90s.
Right, when it becomes work to try and stay caught up on what the hell's going on. Yeah.
So I guess I really don't care about Justice League.
All right. I mean, I brushed up against that on Newsarama the other day. That's the only reason why I know anything about it. So, we'll stay in the DC universe for right now. Red Hood and the Outlaws 37. If you were done with Batman 77.
Yes.
Okay, because that's literally all I know about it is what the hell the big deal about it was. So Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 37. Apparently, it's a hot book. It's already going for like $30 online.
Okay.
Because there's 4 brand new characters that book is their first appearances.
Okay.
One being the first ever non-binary character in comic book history.
Okay.
Again, that's all I really know about it, and that's because our buddy Aaron, formerly of Cloud City, was like, dude, this is a hot book. Like, this is going to be something. And I'm like, so, and then I heard today, I Googled this morning to find out what was so important about these new characters, and that's when I found out about the non-binary.
Okay.
I don't buy DC Comics. I didn't get a copy, but I guess it's going to be a big deal. I didn't know, because I thought you were a Red Hood guy, so I wasn't sure if you were. No?
No, not at all.
Probably just in the games. Maybe that was
No.
the Arkham thing.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Red Hood is a Batman character. I mean, it's definitely different. He's different than the Red Hood originally was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I wouldn't read those comics, but I don't have unlimited funds, and the Bat family is way too large.
Oh my God,
to follow
yes.
everything. I at this point, I really only read Batman and Detective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I even stopped on Batgirl, which used to be one of my favorite characters, but
Yeah.
I still I'm against Barbara Gordon being back under the cowl, and I'm like, I'm just not going to do this.
And there goes your reset button too, but they won't undo that.
No, they probably won't, and I think it's a disservice, like a lot of people feel. But anyway, that was another show. We talked about that ages ago. So yeah, I just keep up with those two.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure Red Hood is great. I'm sure all of those spin-off books are great, but I just don't have the time.
I hear you. Yeah, I know. I've got a couple of Marvel comic book items, and that's about all I've got left on this list.
Okay.
One, they announced, I think coming out of San Diego, that we're getting an Annihilation sequel.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact title, but basically it's going to be another big spin-off with Annihilus coming back, and Richard Rider, Nova, is going to be the lead hero in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be him, Silver Surfer, and one other that I can't remember right now who exactly it was. But I'm marginally excited about it. I'm not real happy about what they've been doing back and forth with Rich Rider all this time, since his resurrection. So, I mean, because a lot of it he's been getting shunted off to the side so they can focus on Sam Alexander. I don't think you need to do that. I think there's more than enough room in the Marvel Universe. I mean, with as big as Marvel Cosmic is supposed to be. Also, since we're on the topic of Nova, did you hear that they might be quietly casting the Nova movie now?
I think I did read something about
that. That's interesting. That's being kept real quiet right now, though. Not too quiet that we heard about it, but
yeah, it might be too early to go there. I almost feel like you need to establish Cosmic a bit more.
Yeah, you have to build out, especially after what just happened. Like, I mean, we got Xandar destroyed off screen.
Yeah.
So where do you go with that? Like, that's kind of part of the story you need to tell if you're gonna all of a sudden have an Earthman as a Nova. But I digress. The other big news, again, it's Moon Knight related. Jason Aaron, is he the one doing Avengers right now? I can't remember the writer, but it's he came out on Twitter and just said that Moon Knight is returning in a big and unexpected way this December in Marvel Comics. So I'm quite interested.
He's going to be an Avenger.
They've done that, so that shouldn't be unexpected, but probably.
He's going to be an X-Man.
There you go. All of a sudden he has a mutant ability. We're going to find out he's not really schizophrenic and like all those were all, that's his mutant ability. He's going to start popping other characters out like Multiple Man.
Maybe.
So keep an eye out in December for that. I'll definitely be checking out wherever it's going. I know in another month or two he's going to be a main player in a 5-issue like weekly series that's coming out called Contagion.
Okay.
Something about there's this weird virus that hits New York City, and he's one of the few that's part of it to stop it. Like, the covers look really cool. It looks like this could get creepy. This one might be something you want to check out.
All right.
I'll let you know when I have actual release dates for that. I know it already came up in previews for where you could order it, and it's a weekly series, which sucks. I hate weekly series. But that's all I've got, my friend. Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
Well, I'm pretty sure that we never actually talked about. Did we ever talk about the end of Walking Dead on mic? I don't know. I think that we recorded. I think we recorded the week that came out and completely forgot to talk about
Probably.
it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I do want to tell you that my first edition, signed by Charlie Adlard copy of The Walking Dead's final issue is sweet.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yes.
Mine is not signed.
It cost me $25. I mean, they're selling for like $100 or more now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need.
And you're gonna get it slabbed, right?
I want to. Yeah, I don't even know how to do that. So I mean, I see you can like send away for it, but
nothing. It's nothing.
Oh, but I need to. I need to get that slabbed because that maybe that'll be Avery's college fund or something.
There you go.
Know. But I mean, it was nice, that I didn't know that Charlie Adlard had a comic shop. He had a really close.
Like a relationship. I thought you were saying he has his own. Which
he
cool.
might actually be involved in. I've read some stuff to say that maybe he's the owner of the place, like behind the scenes. But he does a lot of signings there, because it's right there in his hometown. So I mean, I don't know if that lowers the value of it since it's not as hard to get his signature.
It shouldn't, especially on that.
Yeah,
I mean that was a big deal.
Did you read the final issue?
No, you told me about it.
Okay.
So no, I'm going off of what you've told me and what I see online.
But yeah, it's it's funny because I always thought when that ended there would be an empty space in my life, but not really.
You just kind of moved on.
Yeah, okay.
I
feel like it ended as well as it could, better than I expected.
Yeah. Now it's funny, and these are most likely probably second printings. But I was at Destiny last night. Krista needed to go buy new clothes, so I was wandering around. So I stopped in to play the game, read the story.
Okay.
They had a stack of the final issue. It had to be 8 inches.
Yeah.
Wide. I'm not going to guess how many were. I was shocked. It's because, like I said, it's got to be like they did a second printing of that, right?
Yeah.
And was it the same cover?
They did. I think they did the same cover, and they did some alternate covers. Yeah.
Okay. Because it was still the same, like, orange cover, where you just see that hand-framed and everything like that. So I'm like, there's no way they didn't sell out of this. So it's got to be, like, second printing. Okay.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, because it was sprung on... I mean, the retailers didn't know it was the last issue until after their orders were already made.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else about Walking Dead?
No, I think I'm good. Lana, do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Sorry if we bored you.
No, it's fine.
You did just wake her up. That's perfect.
Nah, yeah.
No, actually, not this time. Okay, so my WTF file this time.
Okay.
Look at this. I've actually been keeping notes of them. I have multiple ones here. This one was funny. And I got to give this guy credit because if he was doing this for comedy's sake, he's fucking brilliant. Otherwise, I'm a little scared. So I'm walking into work, and it was one of the mornings where I had to refill my Diet Cherry Pepsi supply at work. So I have a 6-pack in a bag as I'm walking my 4 blocks from my parking lot to work. And I crossed the path of this young black guy and his girlfriend, I'm assuming. He looks me up and down, focuses on my Wegmans bag that has a soda in it, and he says, and I'm going to try and mimic like his delivery on it because that was part of it. He goes, "Can I have a soda? I get parched sometimes too. I'm not 12. And then walked by me. Kept walking down the street. And then I chuckled and I'm just looking like, what? And I'm looking up and down the streets waiting to see like if he's coming back with anything or like if there's a camera and someone's pranking me. What the fuck? Like, this is the beauty of working downtown. This is what we get all the time.
Wow.
Like, all sorts of crazy shit. Like, I have more of those in there are stuff from me walking either to work or from work. Like, this is when all the crazy shit happens.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's all we have for this week.
Well, it's been fun. Thanks for listening.
It's been very fun. Oh, and I just want to tell everybody, keep posted for this fall. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Probably another episode with Josh Grosvent. Maybe some ghost hunting. We're going to do our first ever audience sit-in. And way more to come. And on that note, megabyte me, bitches. This has been a GeekPod Network production. Show notes and links to our social media can be found on our webpage, www.geekpod.com. That's G33KPOD.com. Want to help us out? Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Reviews really help keep us on the charts. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.